In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on March 28, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Detroit Pistons. The NBA brings fans an Eastern Conference showdown this Friday, featuring the Cleveland Cavaliers, who hold an impressive 59-14 record, going up against the Detroit Pistons, who sit at 41-32. This matchup presents an interesting contrast between a dominant contender and a scrappy underdog looking to make some noise. Cleveland is entering this game fresh off a solid 122-111 victory over Portland, where they were favored by 6.5 points and managed to cover the spread. On the other hand, Detroit is coming off a dominant 122-96 win against San Antonio. What made that performance particularly impressive was the fact that they pulled off the victory as 9-point underdogs. Both teams are coming in with some momentum, but Cleveland has had Detroit's number in recent history. The Cavaliers have won the last 10 meetings between these teams and have already taken the first 3 games of this 4-game season series. The Cavaliers should be getting a boost with the expected return of Evan Mobley, who was given the night off in their last game. However, Detroit remains without Cade Cunningham as he continues to recover from a lingering calf bruise. Given that Cleveland is playing their second game in as many nights, there's always a chance they decide to rest a player or two at the last moment. That being said, even if the Cavaliers are missing a key piece, they still have the firepower to take control of this game early and potentially cruise to a comfortable win. But don't overlook the Pistons just yet. This team has been quietly playing some great basketball, and they should be well rested, having not played since Tuesday. Recent form also suggests that Detroit could have the upper hand. The Pistons have won 4 of their last 5 games, while the Cavaliers have dropped 4 of their last 6. Detroit has been shooting the ball exceptionally well, making over 52% of their shots in their last 3 outings, while Cleveland has hit 49% of theirs. The Pistons also excel at ball movement, creating good looks for their teammates, and they've been relentless on the boards, securing over 10 offensive rebounds per game in that span. More offensive rebounds mean more second-chance opportunities, which could make a big difference in a game like this. Additionally, they take care of the ball well, limiting costly turnovers and preventing easy fast break points for their opponents. Meanwhile, Cleveland's defense has struggled when playing on the road, allowing over 113 points per game. With the added fatigue of playing on consecutive nights, slowing down a sharp shooting Detroit squad could prove to be a tough challenge. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. One major factor that should not be overlooked in this game is the pace at which both teams play. These are 2 of the fastest teams in the NBA, which should lead to a high-scoring affair. The Pistons rank 6th in pace, averaging 102.5 possessions per game, while the Cavaliers are right behind them in 7th, clocking in at 102.4 possessions per game. With both teams preferring an up-tempo style, there should be plenty of opportunities for points. Cleveland also boasts one of the most efficient offenses in the league, scoring an impressive 120 points per 100 possessions. If we look at their raw scoring output, they rank 2nd in the NBA with an average of 122 points per game. The Pistons, while not as elite, still hold their own, ranking 11th in the league with 115 points per contest. One area where Cleveland truly separates itself is 3-point shooting, where they lead the NBA with a 38.5% shooting clip from beyond the arc. Detroit isn't too far behind in that category, sitting 14th at 36.3%. Recent trends suggest that both teams have been involved in high-scoring games. Cleveland has gone over the total in 4 of its last 5 contests, while Detroit has hit the over in 3 of its last 4. The Cavaliers not only play at a fast pace, ranking 10th in the league in possessions per game, But they're also facing a Detroit defense that has allowed an average of 116 points per game in their last 3 outings. Meanwhile, the Pistons, playing at the 5th fastest pace in the NBA with 103.9 possessions per game, are going up against a Cavaliers defense that struggles on the road, surrendering 113.5 points per game. Given all of these factors, it's reasonable to expect a high-scoring battle with plenty of offensive fireworks. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Charlotte Hornets versus Toronto Raptors. On Friday night, the Charlotte Hornets will go head-to-head against the Toronto Raptors at Scotiabank Arena in what will be their second meeting of the season. Their last encounter took place on October 30th, when Charlotte pulled off a 138-133 victory. Historically, however, Toronto has had the upper hand in this matchup, holding a 7-3 record straight up over their last 10 meetings. If you're looking at trends, the over has hit in 6 of those 10 games, making it something to keep an eye on. Charlotte heads into this game with a rare bit of good news. There isn't a single player listed on their injury report. Toronto, on the other hand, will be without R.J. Barrett, Ochai Agbaji, and Grady Dick. The Hornets have had a tough season, struggling to find consistency on both ends of the floor, but they showed some fight in their last outing, nearly taking down the Magic. Meanwhile, the Raptors are feeling good after securing a big win against the Nets, marking their second consecutive victory. While both teams have had their ups and downs, Toronto has been the more reliable squad lately. The Hornets have struggled all year, particularly on offense, and that trend doesn't seem to be improving. Their offensive efficiency has been one of the worst in the league, sitting at 29th in offensive rating. They've struggled with ball security and haven't been able to knock down outside shots consistently. On the other side, Toronto has been trending upward, especially on the defensive end, where they now rank 14th in the NBA in defensive rating. The Raptors are 6 games behind the Heat for the 10th seed in the Eastern Conference, but they've shown signs of life, winning 8 of their last 13 contests. Scotty Barnes has been playing at an all-star level, and the team's young core has been gaining confidence on offense while maintaining a tough defensive presence. If the Hornets continue their sloppy play, Toronto should have no problem capitalizing with fast break points and easy buckets in the paint. It's tough to make a case for the Hornets as a solid betting option. They've been consistently losing and failing to cover the spread, making them a risky pick on most nights. The Raptors, on the other hand, don't have a ton to play for in terms of postseason positioning, but they've been playing with competitive energy and have won 8 of their last 13 games. Charlotte has only managed to win 7 road games all season, while Toronto has been far more comfortable at home, with 16 of their 26 wins coming at Scotiabank Arena. While the Raptors tend to thrive more as underdogs, their 44-28-1 record against the spread this season makes them one of the best teams in the league in that regard, tied with the Cavaliers for the second best cover team in the NBA. I don't see the Hornets being the team to break that trend. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Raptors to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. I don't expect this to be a particularly strong defensive showdown. Toronto plays at an up-tempo pace, ranking 11th in the league in that category, which should lead to plenty of scoring opportunities. Charlotte, meanwhile, has been a bottom-tier defensive team all year, particularly inside the arc, where they rank 26th in opponent two-point field goal percentage. Even though the Raptors will be missing a few key pieces, they should still be able to exploit Charlotte's defensive shortcomings. Additionally, Quickly and Poeltl sat out on Wednesday, meaning they're more likely to be available for this game, giving Toronto an even bigger boost. With Charlotte's best players expected to suit up, this total looks a bit too low. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Clippers versus Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets will welcome the Los Angeles Clippers to Barclays Center for what could be an interesting matchup. The Clippers come into this game with a solid 41-31 record, and they have been playing some of their best basketball of the season lately. They've managed to win 9 of their last 11 games, showing a level of consistency that wasn't always there earlier in the season. Meanwhile, the Nets have had a rough time, sitting at 23-50 and struggling through a stretch where they've lost 15 of their last 17 games. They haven't been able to put together much momentum, and it's clear they are far from a competitive squad at the moment. On the injury front, the Clippers are still missing Jordan Miller, so they aren't at full strength, but they're in much better shape than Brooklyn. The Nets will once again be without Cam Thomas, who remains sidelined, while Trendon Watford and Zaire Williams are both listed as questionable. Even with a couple of rotation players potentially out, the Clippers shouldn't have much trouble against a Nets team that has struggled to put up a fight. When these two teams met back in January, the Clippers completely dominated, cruising to a 100 126-67 victory. They have quietly been playing at their highest level this season, and they've managed to avoid falling into the play-in tournament for now, which is a big deal considering the age and health concerns of their key players. Having extra rest before the playoffs could be critical for them down the stretch. That said, while the Clippers are clearly the superior team, this is a hefty spread to cover, and it's also a potential look-ahead spot for them with the Cleveland Cavaliers coming up next on their schedule. This will be just the 7th time all season that the Clippers have been favored by double digits, so it's not a situation they find themselves in often. On the other hand, even though the Nets aren't winning games, they have managed to cover the spread in 7 of their last 10 matchups. That's the only thing that really matters in this scenario. As our first pick for this matchup, the Brooklyn Nets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When it comes to pace, both of these teams rank in the bottom 5 of the league, meaning this isn't likely to be a high-scoring, up-tempo affair. The Clippers' defense has also stepped up, climbing into the top 10 in opponent effective field goal percentage, making it tough for teams to find easy baskets. On top of that, Los Angeles has been forcing turnovers at one of the highest rates in the league, which will make life even tougher for the Nets' already struggling offense. Neither team gets to the free throw line very often, so we shouldn't expect a lot of extra points from foul shots. Plus, Brooklyn is solid at limiting second-chance opportunities, ranking 5th in opponent offensive rebound rate. That should help keep the overall scoring in check. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Golden State Warriors versus New Orleans Pelicans. The Western Conference is set for an intriguing showdown as the Golden State Warriors head to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans this Friday night. Both teams are eager to grab a win, but each has its own set of challenges heading into this matchup. Golden State is coming off a rough outing, having been thoroughly outplayed in a 112-86 road loss against the Miami Heat on Tuesday night. They went into that game as 5-point favorites but ended up losing in a lopsided fashion. Meanwhile, the Pelicans were last in action on Saturday night in Houston as they wrapped up a home series against the Rockets. Prior to that, New Orleans secured a solid 112-99 home victory over the Philadelphia 76ers on Monday night, covering the spread as 3-point favorites. When looking at the all-time history between these two squads, the Warriors hold a decisive advantage with a 49-28 record. This season alone, Golden State has dominated the head-to-head meetings, winning all 3 matchups, including a tight 112-108 victory on the road in their most recent clash on November 22, 2024. In terms of player availability, the Warriors are still dealing with injuries, as they have officially ruled out Gary Payton for this game. Adding to their uncertainty, superstar guard Stephen Curry is currently listed as questionable, which could heavily impact their offensive firepower. On the other side, the Pelicans are also missing key players, with Zion Williamson, C.J. McCollum, and Brandon Boston all ruled out for this contest. Golden State has shown flashes of solid play lately, winning 9 of their last 12 games straight up. However, when it comes to covering the spread, their performance has been shaky at best. Over their last 10 games, they have managed to cover just twice, highlighting a level of inconsistency that makes them a tough bet. The Pelicans, in contrast, have been more reliable against the spread, covering in 3 of their last 4 contests. Additionally, New Orleans has been a strong team at home when it comes to covering the number, managing to do so in 19 of their 36 home games this season. After suffering a demoralizing defeat against Miami, the Warriors will undoubtedly be looking to bounce back with a stronger effort. However, the betting line for this game is a bit steep, especially considering Curry's uncertain status. Without their best player on the floor, Golden State has had difficulty generating consistent offense, which is reflected in their poor 2-7-1 record against the spread in their last 10 outings. The Warriors have also struggled as double-digit favorites, posting a 4-11 against the spread record in their last 15 games in that scenario. On the other hand, while the Pelicans don't have much left to play for this season and remain without some of their top players, the line still feels too high given Golden State's inconsistencies. Because of the Warriors' struggles with covering big numbers throughout the season, I'm hesitant to back them in this spot. With Curry potentially sidelined, this game presents a prime opportunity for the Pelicans to leverage their home court advantage and continue their solid trend against the spread. As our first pick for this matchup, the New Orleans Pelicans Pelicans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Offensively, Golden State has been relatively steady in recent games, averaging 112 points per game over their last 10 outings. This is just a single point lower than their overall season average. In terms of playing style, the Warriors rank in the middle of the pack, sitting 16th in tempo with an average of 98.9 possessions per game. Their offensive efficiency also places them in a similar position, ranking 18th in the league. Meanwhile, New Orleans has seen a drop in scoring due to ongoing injury concerns. The Pelicans have put up just 109 points per game over their last 10 contests, which is 1.5 points worse than their season-long average. They rank 15th in tempo with 99 possessions per game, but their offensive efficiency is among the league's worst at 25th overall. 2 of the 3 previous matchups between these teams this season have finished under the total, and with New Orleans missing several key scorers, this game seems primed to follow the same trend. A lack of offensive firepower on the Pelicans side, combined with the Warriors' inconsistency, makes the under a strong play in this spot. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.